My name is Lucia Giagnorio. I am the Manager of People, Culture and Development at the City of Boroondara. Today I'm going to talk to you about the City of Boroondara. We're an inner-urban metropolitan council, and we have about 168,000 residents. But we also are, I suppose, a pretty large employer, and we employ about 1,100 people. Now, today I want to talk to you about who we are as an employer, with a focus on flexibility and what it means. And I think it is worth placing the subject of flexibility in terms of how we see ourselves as an employer and what our brand is about as an employer. But today I'm going to talk about the importance of brand for an employer and how we see ourselves. Now, there are many out in the marketplace, and we're all competing for staff to come and join us. And I think the most important thing to be aware of is that a lot of employers claim to offer flexibility, work-life balance, and some employers like Google, they're known for their innovation, and Apple are similarly known for their innovation. But at Boroondara, our brand is very much about recognising the two-way relationship of an employer and employee really collaborating to create the working life and the experience we want to have in an organisation. And really what we do at the City of Boroondara is very much work on our internal culture. And in the past, we had many brands, and there are many legacies of the past. We used to brand ourselves as Life Balance, having opportunities and many possibilities to undertake development. But I think we realised that offering the notion of work-life balance as a form of flexibility was becoming somewhat vanilla. So we decided that to go and ask our staff about this and say, what is it that gets you out of bed every day? What are the reasons you come to work? And one of the important things about that is that the key message we got was that that really, as an employer, what we offer our staff is the opportunity to work with the community and the opportunity to make a difference and to leave a lasting legacy in the community. So you can see that what you achieve at work is directly experienced by members of the community. So our brand is very much about bringing that out. And I'm going to, in my presentation, I'm going to take you through some of our brand messages, but also I'm going to talk to you about the new F word. And I did say that, and I mean that to be flexibility. Now, if you talk to the unions about flexibility, they'll say it's all about removing job security, and it's about flexibility for the employer only. I would say that if you are a candidate on the employment market, find out what the employer is all about. And we at the City of Boroondara, we have our own website where we clearly have branded ourselves as an employer that gives you opportunities to work in a really dynamic environment, to work with the community, to work with a number of talented staff, and to also seek development and to be recognised for the contributions you make as an employer of the City of Boroondara. So we have to work on this. It's not perfect. It's not a perfect world. It never has been. And I think when you are actually applying for a job, it's not just a job. It's part of. You have to see it as part of. This is who I am. This is what I'm offering the organisation. And I often say to people, find out about who your employer is, and then make a pitch. If there is a full-time job, and I've had many staff approach me about this, if there is a full-time job and you want to work in a particular way, why don't you make your pitch? Because at the end of the day, what will determine a recruitment decision will be the capabilities, the talent, and the experience you have to offer an organisation. And if you don't succeed, if they don't want to employ someone part-time or working different hours or working or doing telework, working from remote locations, and they're not prepared to do that, then perhaps that's not where you want to be. So from my point of view, in this day and age of employment, and we often talk about the war on talent, I say it's really about as potential employees or as employees, we make our pitch based on the capability we offer to an organisation and the contribution you can make to strategic direction of that organisation. So, any candidate out there should make it their business to become familiar with what it is this employer is about and the diversity of the services they provide and how you can fit into that, what you can offer that organisation. And as an employer, City of Boroondara, we've got a long way to go in terms of embracing technology, but we are endeavouring to do that in many different ways. And but we still believe that there has to be a personal touch. So we actually talk to our candidates. We welcome people being interested in our jobs and inquiring about opportunities. And we don't want this to happen every minute of the day, but I would suggest to you that if you want to come and work with us, do your research. Now, our brand really was about, why do we want to be known for what we are known? It's really about City of Boroondara retaining talented staff. At present, we have a 92% retention rate, so we're doing quite well. And part of that is because what we offer is what we deliver on to our employees. And we have worked very hard in terms of working on making the experience we promise, the experience that is lived by the person who applies for a job. We don't always get it right, but we do try to learn from any mistakes we make. But at the end of the day, the statistic speaks for itself, I should say, because our turnover has been at less than 8%, or it's been just around 8% for the last 3 years. That's fairly consistent performance. And that's because we've set up a psychological contract where we say, if you come to the City of Boroondara, these are the things you will experience. I'll go into more detail what those things are. And I'll also talk about our promises around flexibility. Not all of our operations are predisposed to offering flexibility. So perhaps I should talk about what do we mean by flexibility, because it means different things to different people. And I see it to mean a number of things. It's all about how you want to work, the hours you want to work, where do you want to work from, so the work location, how work is actually organised, and whether or not your capability is predisposed to enabling you to work in a flexible way, and recognising that flexibility is a two-way obligation. So it's about the outcome might be work-life balance, or it might be job satisfaction, whatever it is. If the fact is it has to suit the employer, it has to suit the employee. And the employer has to have the ability to offer the technology to support a new way of working. But I'll go back to how we work. So knowing many parts of our business, like for instance in our parks and gardens area, our staff work seasonal hours. So they might work longer hours when the grass is growing faster and shorter hours when it's not. And they accumulate their RDOs and they take greater chunks of time off. And this suits many of our staff. And our industrial agreements support that. In my own department, in people, culture and development, I've had about 7 women go on parental leave, which is fantastic. And we've decided that what we have in our profile, our workforce capability profile, is a whole series of skills and experiences. And I'm saying to these people that when you come back, it's not a position you come back to. We will utilise your capability that suits the business operation, but that also offers you development and gives you stretch and the ability to apply those skills. Because what I'm really employing is the person with a series of capabilities. And so I've set up matrix reporting so that they can work across different areas of our operation. And this has been fantastic because then women can come back 3 days, 4 days, and they work on projects, but using their capabilities. We maintain their classification because that's our obligation. But it's not about having a specific position that must be held for 2 years. Because I've had women away for 2 or 3 year blocks. So for me, it's about how do I maintain a business service, but also keep these talented women and get them to come back in a way that utilises their capabilities. So position-based thinking is on the way out. And it's really about how can I utilise people's capabilities and give them the purpose, the autonomy and the ability to develop are the critical components when coming back so that they can develop themselves and apply their skills to get a satisfying outcome. So that's one perspective. So that's a flexible way of thinking about how an organisation can operate their business. So instead of having an organisational structure with, a hierarchy of positions based on classifications, it's about what are the capabilities in the team, how can we use them, and how can we engage them so that it works, it delivers on the strategies, business objectives of that particular area. So I always say to managers, that's the new continuum of thinking. It's not about I have to keep your job. It's about being flexible about how you see work is organised. That is really important to successfully retaining people and getting them to come back. But also it's about utilising talent. The other thing is work location. Look, at Boroondara, we're not like Medibank or Google's where people can work off-site and are supported. We do use a lot of technology, and we do allow people to work from home, and we allow people to work part-time, and we provide them with PDAs, laptops, so they can work more flexibly, or telework, as some people would describe it. So these opportunities do arise, but it may not be a part of a fixed arrangement. But we do have examples of staff that have whose partners had to relocate to interstate, and for periods of time, and we've allowed them to work remotely. So these things can happen, provided that there's a great working relationship between the manager and the staff, and there's understanding around how work can be undertaken in different ways, and being prepared to try it and to iterate as you go. Now, not all examples have been successful, but we certainly do attempt to implement it. But some parts of our operations don't lend themselves to these notions of work flexibility. And where they do, we try to take full advantage of them and we experiment with it. But I think the mindset that we need is that the employee has to be prepared to be flexible about how it might work, and the employer has to be prepared to trial, working remotely, trial working different hours. As it is at the moment, most departments have a span of hours that they expect people to work, but are very flexible at either end of the day. So that works quite well, especially in our corporate-based operations. In our more traditional areas, in the workforce that works out in the field, there is some flexibility, and not as much as in our corporate area. But there is a lot of support for it, and managers get a lot of support for it, and staff do as well. And I suppose the fact that we've kept our staff for so long has been extremely helpful. And it's been terrific. Our engagement survey from our staff is that one of the key reasons people come to work for the City of Boroondara is because they feel they make a contribution that's valued to the community. But they also feel that that there's great development that's offered, but that there could be areas for improvement in that area, and we will always work towards improving those opportunities and targeting them more so that the development directly links to the strategic outcomes and the strategic activities that the Council publishes every year and includes in its 5-year plan. Now, moving along, this is, I don't know if you have seen our little infographic, but I think you need to understand that at Boroondara we have this amazing little infographic where we tell people about the diversity of services that we offer. And I'd like to play it for you because I think it's a bit of fun, but it also positions us as an employer. What are the things we offer? And one of our key messages is we offer flexibility, and it tells you how we do that. So I'd like to play it for you, and I'd like you to watch it, then I'll come back on.
Let's talk about harmony. It doesn't matter who you are, we all need harmony in our lives. Think about it. Harmony means feeling good within yourself and with what you do with your life every day. After all, it's your working life. So what do you want from life? Do you want a job where all you can make is a salary? Do you want a job where you can make a difference? Or do you want both? Will you work to live or live to work? Do you want to be supported, mentored and encouraged to be your best with study assistance at TAFE or university? Do you want flexible work options so you can work full-time, part-time, or even from home, where you can be a vital part of a team, where your great ideas are embraced, and where you'll have access to a health and wellbeing program and an active social club? Do you want rewards competitive with the corporate world, but where your work will make a difference, not just to the bottom line, but to the whole community, where you'll make a positive impact here, and here, and here? Where you can be part of a thriving industry with over 60,000 employees and more than 500 roles to choose from. So you can dive into new projects such as the new Hawthorn Aquatic Centre, or make your mark in arts and culture, communications and marketing, building services, law, the environment, parks and gardens, engineering and traffic, youth and leisure services, business development, financial services, IT, and so much more. The City of Boroondara delivers a better life and 150 important services to more than 160,000 residents. The whole area is alive with 102 playgrounds and 42 sports grounds. There are 399 hectares of beautifully maintained parklands in 252 parks with 60,000 trees. More than 6,000 cats and 15,000 dogs live here. More than 2,400 people are helped by 126,000 hours of home and community care services. We've also created more than 715 capital works projects. As you can see, there's a lot going on in this vibrant, growing community. So if you want a career where you can be in tune with your environment, where you can make a difference and make a better world, working with the City of Boroondara will strike a chord with you. After all, it's your working life.
I think when you look at our little infographic, a lot of that we put together with input from staff because we wanted to create a brand and an image or a reputation of council which reflected the things that were important to our staff, but also to the community. And I hope, you know, one of the key messages you get from that is that if you want to or are interested in working at Boroondara, then you can see the breadth of the services that are offered. But more importantly, what you will see is that you know, it's okay if you live to work. Some people work to live, but you know, I'm one of those people. I like to live to work. And our key messages then is really about, and we included that in our infographic, and the staff say that this is true, that, you know, if you want to work part-time, that's okay. If you want to work from home, that's also okay. So that, you know, that new F word, flexibility, is really something that as employers, we're perhaps in the early stages of being committed to that notion, but we're certainly working on it and we'll continue to work on it, recognising that with the expectations of people entering the workforce, if this is met, then we are going to endeavour to do that. But more importantly, with the advancements that we've achieved with technology, then we have to recognise that we have to offer people new ways of working from different locations, and not necessarily being a traditional office arrangement, but even being able to work remotely with staff using technology. I think that is critically important. So our brand is really about, one of our messages is you'll be supported. So, you know, working in a collaborative environment, strong ethical values, job training and flexible working options. Staff will recognise these are some of the things that we're known for and that we deliver on. And I hope that when you seek employment from Boroondara, that that's something that's emphasised. We also spend a lot of time recognising our staff and listening to their views and respecting their views. And a lot of the work that we do in the People and Culture Department that I head up is we talk to our staff and we involve them in key policy development, key initiatives like what is our brand and how important is work-life flexibility, how do we deliver on that. And the opportunities that staff have are not only opportunities for working flexibility, but opportunities to become professionals, to become involved in innovation, to become involved into sharing ideas, to develop a career. These are all things that are available to our staff. And the critical one that most councils offer is being able to work with the community and being able to make a difference to them. Because, you know, at the end of the day, most people that work in local government will cite that as the principal reason wanting to work in councils. And if you work at the City of Boroondara, you'll certainly be doing that. Our recruitment website, you will see that our brand is reflected there. We use photos of our staff that are all real living people, and we think that's important to us. But the other thing about working flexibly is about opportunities to work in areas you have not worked in before. And it is an expectation at the City of Boroondara that people participate in providing or developing new ideas and contributing to making those new ideas happen, creating or identifying new ideas. We have an amazing innovation program, and we have this thing called the innovation, there's an innovation portal, and it's called I Think. Because, you know, we're really interested to know what people see as opportunities for improvement, small, big, medium, doesn't matter what the idea is. We encourage people to participate in innovation, and if staff come up with an idea, they will be involved in its implementation. If after rapid prototyping it's seen to be something we will need to implement, then that person will be able to follow it through and see it through to the end. And it doesn't matter where you're from. The expectation from the leadership team, from the Chief Executive Officer, is that staff participate in that process, and that seems to be a priority. So I think it's important then to say the flexibility that's offered there is to do work that you've never done before and to be part of a new solution. So we're very excited about that. And we have about 4 innovation challenges a year where we try to solve wicked problems, and any staff member can offer up opinions or offer up solutions, and these are all considered by a working group. So we're really quite excited about that. This program is in its early stages of development. It's really gestational. However, we have really pushed this idea, and the innovation portal has come up with quite a few ideas that people are currently working on. Some ideas are about improving the internal culture, but some ideas are about making improvements in use of technology, in delivering better customer service to each other within the organisation and externally to our customers. One of the more recent projects that we got involved in was how do we engender respect on shared pathways, on shared bicycle pathways, I should say, and the staff came up with amazing ideas. So we found that a rewarding experience. The other thing that happens a lot internally, and this is moving slightly away from flexibility, but this is about our brand, is that we do have a very proactive recognition and reward program, because what we want to do is recognise, great ideas, but recognise great work. And we have these cards that people use, and they're used quite a lot. E-cards, even for those that prefer old-fashioned written cards, they are all available in the organisation. And reward and recognition, just even recognition, is critical to ensuring that the key messages around development, around sharing ideas, around working flexibly, all these things need to be recognised and rewarded. And if we don't have a good program that supports this, then we're not going to deliver on our promises around our brand. So I think it's really one of those programs that we work a lot on. Now, for any of these initiatives to be truly successful, one must, as an organisation, work on the leadership team. And at Boroondara, we're working very hard with our leadership team, and we have developed an intensive 6-month leadership development program for our leaders, and this is going to be a program that's on offer every year for the next 3 years. And the whole purpose of the program is to say, how do we use and harness the talent of our staff and create a leadership mindset that encourages that growth and development, encourages innovation, that implements flexible options. These are the things that are reinforced through our leadership program and through our 360-degree feedback program for our senior leaders. So for us, your working life is about what leaders allow staff to be able to do, what leaders, when leaders attempt to implement flexible options and working out with their employees. These are all important to, the leadership mindset is really important to creating the work environment we need so that we can support flexible options, so we can support employee development, that we can recognise great work, and we can deliver ultimately to the community. One of the other things that we work on every 2 years that we deliver on is our employee engagement survey, where we find out how is your working life going, what is the team climate like, And we measure this a lot, and we perform well on flexible options in, the large part of our operations. And I think that is testament to who we are as an organisation. And I would encourage you to make contact with us if you are interested in exploring this further. So the other thing that supports all of this work is our people strategy. Now, I don't like to use the word people strategy, but this is really about what we are trying to achieve in the next 5 years as an organisation. And I've just put here in this presentation what the 3 pillars of our success are. And enhancing the way we work is all about this notion that, employers are being compelled to be far more flexible. And this is about how work's constructed, how it's undertaken, how we can support leaders and staff to embrace these new ways of working and thinking, and also then, of course, encouraging growth and development and sustaining innovation. So sometimes we have to, we have to grow and develop the talent, but we also need to encourage new ways of doing things. And all of these goals interact to create the culture that we need at Boroondara, which is one that is dedicated to exemplary service to the community, but underpinned by a group of staff that are highly talented, that are encouraged to develop, that are supported, that are recognised, and also that their ideas are used to achieve those strategic objectives. But more importantly, that this is done in an environment where your working life, you seek the opportunities and they are then given to you, but then it is something that is a two-way responsibility between the employee and the leader. And we do this in a highly ethical and respectful environment. So that really ends my presentation. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you visit our careers website, and thank you for listening to me.